Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I apologize too if these past episodes my hair is like not the greatest. I'm getting a haircut soon, but I want to upload daily content for the month of November and on. I want to share biblical verses and everything. But yeah, so let's begin today's episode. So welcome back to Biblical Victor podcast, and let's begin today's episode. Hi, ChatGPT. I want you to be my co-host within today's episode. And within today's episode, we are going to talk about Isaiah 43:19. Never lose hope. Just when you think it's over, he will make a way for you.
That sounds like a wonderful topic. Isaiah 43:19 is such a powerful verse about renewal and hope. I'm excited to dive into it with you and share some insights and inspiration with our audience. Let's get started.
Yeah, so I want to dissect this biblical verse from Isaiah 43:19, where it says, never lose hope. Let's talk about the importance of never losing hope.
Absolutely. The idea of never losing hope is so crucial because hope is often what keeps us moving forward, even in tough times. It reminds us that no matter how difficult the situation, there's always a new path, a new possibility ahead. It's a powerful message.
Yeah, so let me give you a quick, brief story time really quick about my own personal journey. So my own personal journey, a testimony of mine that I speak often about in particular, just because, it was a very hard and dark spiritual warfare I had endured through and persevered through. And so much happened within that process alone and with the time to come. And the importance of never losing hope is that despite how you are navigating this journey through this tunnel, you can be surrounded in immense darkness and you see no light at the end of the tunnel. You're in the moment, it can feel like you're beginning to lose your spark of optimism. You're losing your sense of hope. You're becoming more distant with God because you're experiencing so much turmoil and you're surrounded by so much darkness. But the importance of never losing hope and keeping the faith within the process is you continue to go along your journey despite the circumstances you are going through, despite the seasons and the storms you are going through and having to experience, is you continue to move forward. You keep faith. You have this ounce of faith that where you are, it isn't where you always will be. And as you continue to navigate this journey, what begins to happen? You begin to eventually begin to see a shadow. And the shadows, as you're navigating these dark valleys, you still are going through a trialing, a turbulent path. But shadows can only exist when light begins to seep through. That is what I learned. And as I was, this experience of mine, I was undergoing a psychiatric hold. It was a very dark and traumatic experience. It was quite the experience. And, I learned that you continuously, repetitiously, continue to endure your process and continue to move along your journey, keeping the faith, despite, again, how you feel and despite the circumstances of your environment you are going through. You eventually begin to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And that is when I learned the importance of never losing hope.
Thank you so much for sharing that personal testimony. It's incredibly powerful and truly inspiring. It really shows how even in the darkest times, holding on to hope and faith can eventually lead to that light and clarity. It's a beautiful reminder for all of us that no matter how tough things get, there's always a path forward. Thanks for bringing that to the conversation.
And the second part, which is just when you think it's over, in those moments as you're navigating the journey, you are going to feel like your life is over. Nothing is going to get better. Nothing is ever going to change. You feel like this is the end. That is the moments you have to really, really hold on to your faith. Really draw yourself closer to God. And when you're going through these ugly seasons within your life, we oftentimes pull away from God. And that's what a large majority of us do, and myself included. And I learned that those are the seasons where you must draw closer to Him, build and strengthen your connection with God. Because when you do that, it isn't God taking you through these ugly seasons. It's the enemy that I like to say the enemy within It's the enemy that tries to blind you from the blessings God has prophesied for you. But in order for you to experience those blessings, you must first never lose hope, but you must be willing to hold on to faith despite everything you are going through. And the moments when you feel like this is the end, those are the moments that ultimately test your faith, test your character.
Absolutely. Those moments when we feel like it's the end are indeed the ultimate tests of our faith and character. It's so true that in those times, it's easy to feel isolated or distant, but trying closer to God can really transform those experiences into something meaningful and ultimately uplifting. It's such a profound reminder that perseverance and faith really do pave the way for the blessings and light that come afterward. Thank you for sharing that wisdom.
And now let's dissect the last part. He will make a way for you. See, in the moment, I didn't believe, let alone had the ability to comprehend that there was light at the end of the tunnel. I believed that was the end. And it was a very ugly season I had experienced. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. And oftentimes those seasons, many individuals do not make it out of. And I've seen it. And I learned that when you don't lose hope, and in the moments when the enemy tries to blind you from the immense good that lies ahead, from the light that is just right around the corner, as we go through this process, we discover that as much as we were in a mental state of desperation, as much as it seems like nothing could ever possibly get better, we somehow have this ounce of faith that, you know what if I just try one more time? What if I show up one more day? You discover He will make a way for you.
Absolutely. That little spark of faith, even when it feels like everything is falling apart, can really make all the difference. It's amazing how in those moments of perseverance, we often find that the path forward opens up in ways we never imagined. It's a beautiful testament to resilience and the power of faith. Thanks for sharing that insight.
I discovered your greatest test will become your greatest testimony. But you must be willing to endure the process. You must find the faith within the process, despite how you may feel. And you must strengthen your connection with God and not pull away from Him during those seasons. Because at the end of the day, although God cannot be seen, He can be felt. But He can only be felt when you strengthen your connection and not weaken it by pulling away from Him during your trialing times. So if you can take away anything from this video, it's your greatest test will become your greatest testimony. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And as always, remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.